Hey, beautiful people. I really don't like these blurred videos, but I am sitting at a different table in my house, and the chaos behind me is not what I want on camera right now. Um, you know, I don't know. If I have a look at it, it's the judgment of people looking at my stuff, but also the energy of people seeing our stuff. And I think it's interesting because I've always had this story that I do not like our stuff being online. I do not like photos of my house. When we were selling the house, I decided to do a video because then you can take the video down and the photos of your stuff does not stay up. And I think it's a combination because of the judgment. I was raised in just such a judgmental environment where there were so many people that had opinions about who I was and what I did and how I should do it. And I remember even in my 20s and my 30s, when I had an idea or I had a thought or I wanted to do something, somebody always had an opinion about what I was doing. And that opinion would always make me rethink what I was doing, and the judgment and the criticism and their concern or whatever it was. It kind of makes me feel like I don't want to put our stuff online. And I mean, it's a hard enough struggle putting me online. I said in the video I did yesterday that I've actually created these videos where I talk about what I'm going through quite a bit. I've done hundreds of them over the years, but I've never put them up because I was always too afraid about what people thought of me. I was always too afraid about what people would say, about how I looked, about whether, and I sit in such judgment of myself. I sit in judgment of my hair, of my hands, of my face, my nose, my eyes, my teeth, my just everything. I sit in so much judgment of all of it that it's a real challenge to put videos up knowing that people are probably going to say horrible things and not take it personally, especially right now, because the world just seems to be filled with people who have horrible things to say. And it's so strange to me now that people will actively watch people's videos and then say horrible things about them or say horrible things about their videos or read people's posts and react. But I tell you what, and I'm going to be honest here, that a couple of years ago, it wasn't that unusual for me to do the same thing. Not in quite a brutal way than what people do, but when I had anger at my core that I had not looked at, that I had not dealt with, a lot of what I spewed out of my mouth and through the keyboard was not nice. If somebody created a video and I didn't like the content, then I would say, this content's shit. This is crap. Why would anyone create this? I was one of those keyboard warriors that just had an opinion and thought I should share it. And now that I'm in a very different space, now that I've dealt with a lot of that anger, now that I have gone through and dealt with a lot of that hurt and a lot of that pain, I could not ever imagine getting into someone else's space and being mean to them. But there are still people out there that are hurting. There are still people out there that have no idea that every reaction that they're taking is from pain. Every reaction that they're making is from hurt. It's from hurt from their past. And it's so easy to think that the person that is on the video is the reason why you feel the way you do. So somebody says something and you react to it You're reacting to it because externally you're reacting to it with this belief that it's the person that's actually causing the reaction, where in actual fact, it's not the person causing the reaction. It's the trauma that is inside of you, that is unrealized and unseen and unheard and unrecognized and unloved and unacknowledged and unvalidated, that is then reacting, and then it's coming out. Because if a person sits in a space of not being aware of their emotions, not being aware of their trauma, not being aware of who they are on this world and what they've been through, and their programs and their sabotages and their patterns, if you're someone that has absolutely no idea about any of this, then you are going to assume that every thought and every feeling you have is because of what is happening in your external world. It's because of the government, it's because of your mom, it's because of your dad, it's because of your sibling, it's because of your brother or your sister or uncle, it's because of the person at the shop, it's because of your boss, it's because of your partner, it's because of your kids. But absolutely none of that is true. None of the feelings that you have are because of anybody outside of you. They are all because of what you have going on inside of you. And it's fascinating because there was a time where I was reactive to our house being a crazy mess, and I would have meltdowns about how messy the house was and how little my daughter helped me clean it up. And I think over the last 6 months, I don't think I've had a single meltdown about the house or her helping me or not helping me. It just doesn't, the reaction has gone, because I sat and one day I didn't actually like how I was responding to her. And so I sat and took some time to go and find, excuse me, go, and I yawn when I'm releasing energy, to go and find that part inside of me that was reacting. And I tell you, it was my mum's need for clean, it was my mum's need for perfection, it was my mum's need for tidiness and uncluttered. And when I moved out, she redid the whole house and she got rid of so much stuff, and she basically lived like a minimalist. She really didn't like having a lot of stuff in her house, and everything had a spot. And it was interesting to sit and have a look and go, okay, that's my mum's voice. That's my mum's voice telling me that I should have a clean house. I need to have a tidy house. Everything should have a spot. Everything should be put away. Everything should be exactly where it is at all times. And you never leave stuff on the ground. You never just drop stuff at the door. And it was interesting to hear those parts inside of me that were absolutely losing their crackers. And then one day I sat with them and held them and acknowledged them and loved them and heard them and saw them, and just sat with these parts and said, it's okay. You're allowed to have these feelings inside my body. That does not mean I have to react through them. That does not mean that I have to live by them. But you are allowed to have these feelings inside my body. And all of a sudden, those parts inside of me that were freaking out, they stopped freaking out. And that does not mean that my daughter does not help me. And that does not mean that we live in an utter house of chaos and crazy, which sometimes we do. And it does not mean that I never clean. It means that when I clean, it's because I want to clean. It's because I want a clean house, not because I have to clean, not because I'm being fueled by some trauma or some story or some experience that I had when I was younger and now it's dictating my life. It is something that I do because I choose to do it. And my daughter doesn't help me now because I lose my shit. My daughter helps me because she wants to, because I'm not reactive. And if I ask her, she's amazing. She is 9. And if I ask her to help me, she'll pop up and help. I'm not losing my crap. And sometimes she'll say no. She'll say, no, I'm in the middle of something right now. And I say, okay, well, when you're not in the middle of something, can you please remember to do this? And she will remember to do it. And I thank her for it. It's such a different perspective. It's such a different way of being, instead of losing my crap at her for not cleaning. And I guess when I decided, so there was a time a long time ago, like a long time ago, 15 years ago or so, I decided to focus all of my thoughts and all of my feelings on how I felt about life. Everything that I did was based on how I felt. So if I felt bad, I knew I was thinking or feeling something that I did not want to feel. And if I felt good, then I knew that I was thinking and feeling things that I did want to think and feel. And when you shift and you go about life and you make how you feel the most important thing in the world, things start to change. You start to pay attention in a different way. You start to make different choices. Certain things like fighting for my right to be right, to have a clean house, it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. I don't need to fight for my right to be right, to have a clean house. Now, I have a clean house when I want to have a clean house. There's nothing fueling that action. Oh, cats are moving around. I just heard this banging noise and it's a cat. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to share. I don't know why. That's what I wanted to share today. Yeah, I'm going to try and do these videos more often. I don't know why. I just am. So trying not to judge myself. I can hear this very judgmental voice in my head saying, you haven't said it clearly, or you haven't said it right, you haven't said it perfectly. People aren't going to understand. People are going to judge you. People are going to say horrible things about you. And I'm just hearing this voice going, wow, you are losing your crap because I'm having a conversation to a camera. And people might see it, and then people might judge it, and then they might say mean things about me. And it's a challenge. But again, I can sit here and go, yeah, I hear you. You're allowed to feel this way and you're allowed to think these thoughts inside my body, but I do not have to live through these same thoughts and these same feelings, which is why I'm not doing videos and why I haven't put any of my videos up from the past. Anyway, today's a new day. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching.